All right, hello everybody. Zaxtorian 99. We're back again with another re-review or another response video, really, to a indie game that I reviewed just yesterday. Now, Warlike here is a very simplistic, in my opinion, a very low-effort game, and I have been attacked by supposed users on Steam, and the game was defended as we would expect by the developer. So I want to go ahead and take a look at this review of this game, $4 game with a 20% discount, just over $3 here in America. And let's take a quick look at this game again. Hopefully the audio here turns out a little bit better than it did for my video I made yesterday. But this is a game by Peter Knack. And when we look at that, we see it looks like his first game on Steam. Lead your band of mercenaries to victory in a procedurally generated fantasy world. Manage your resources, customize your army, and wage epic battles against orc clans, barbarian hordes, and legions of undead. The art style may be cute, but this tactical roguelike is anything but forgiving. So the game looked pretty interesting when I looked at the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks pretty damn cool, especially for $4. But it wasn't until I played it that the game both looked, felt, and played like a low-effort asset flip. Now, I said in the video review and in my video that the game may not be an asset flip, but it doesn't really matter when it looks, feels, and seems like an asset flip. For example, the game doesn't even have any options or settings. So let's go ahead and take a look at my review where I mentioned it. I said this game looks and feels like a mindless asset flip. Whether it's an asset flip or not does not really matter. This is in my original review. I posted my original video. I said it lacks real effort, and that shows by a complete lack of audio adjustments and video settings. Music is way too loud, and you can't even swap it from a full screen to a windowed mode should you want to. Furthermore, the lack of effort shows in a lack of Steam achievements and high scores. You play the game, it feels like one of a million free mindless RNG mobile games, so why would you want to pay money for it here? I guarantee you there are 10 times better games just like this on your phone for free. Very unimpressed, it looked kind of cool, I gave it a shot. It just looks and feels super lazy. My score is a 2 out of 10, and trust me, that's generous. The developer responded today, said, hey, Zaxtorian, thanks for taking the time to play and give feedback on Warlike. Often people don't give new indie games a chance. I can understand that, so I appreciate that you gave it a try. And I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. No, not at all. Having said that, I don't think your review properly reflects the game. Let me be very clear here. The game is not an asset flip, which I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter or not when it looks and feels like a mindless low-effort asset flip. Anyway, he says the game is on an asset flip, and I already said it doesn't matter whether it is or not. It feels like one. Many of the assets have been purchased directly from the Unity Asset Store. I've been very upfront about that, and each asset creator is credited in the About section of the game, which I saw in my video review. Everything else has been done solely by myself from scratch. Exactly, not a whole lot. We'll see that when we take a second look at your game. I noticed in your review you didn't bother with a tutorial, nor did you realize that you could command powers during battles. I also can't help but notice that your playtime is the same length as your video review. I think you're being unfair to heap such strong criticism on the game that you only played for once, 15 minutes, and skipped out on many of the key features. It also seems like you didn't give Warlike a fair chance from the get-go, or you were out to criticize it. No, I wasn't. As I said, I bought the game because it looked cool. I was not out to criticize the game. I said the game looked cool, and that's why I bought it. Was not out to criticize it, but I also said in my video review that sometimes when a game looks too good to be true or the price is too low, that's a red flag of an asset flip. Some of your feedback is founded well and very helpful to me, so thank you for that. As an indie developer who is new to Steam and always trying to learn and improve my games, rest assured I will continue to update Warlike in the next couple of months. You know how many times I wish I had a nickel for the amount of times I've heard this from indie developers like yourself who maybe put out one small update, maybe a couple of small updates, and then never touch the game again. Or who never touch the game again. They say something like this and we never see the game again touched. We also see that my review here is being attacked. I didn't even mention the fact that you played this game for around 20 minutes, which is the same length as your stupid video. Okay, so you can't just bash the dev for not putting any effort when you yourself have put in less effort than I do in my college projects. Dude, how is this an asset flip? And what the fuck is wrong with the game for having no achievements? When you're treating this game that costs you like $3 as if it's a AAA title instead of an indie game made by one person. Besides, it just looks like you're trying to pathetically plug your YouTube channel. Oh my god, I get so tired of this crap. Speaking of your YouTube channel, may I ask how you have 18,000 subscribers and only 200 views on your Warlike review? Okay, so to this imbecile right here who is speaking out of his ass and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Does this guy even own the game? Has this guy even played the game? We won't know because he's got that private. But he doesn't have a review on the game. We know that much. And also, if he cares to take a look, he's attacking my YouTube channel, right? And saying, how the fuck do I have 18,000 subscribers when my videos have such a low view count? That is understandable. However, if you did a simple search, right, and found a link or a website called Social Blade, you could simply come here and see that there are 3,400 videos, almost 3,400 videos on my YouTube channel. And I created my YouTube account way back in 2007. So I've had my YouTube account for going on 14 years and created almost 3,400 videos. That is how I have 18,000 subscribers. Furthermore, if you go down and look at stats, which YouTube doesn't really have full stats like they used to show you like the full stats of how many subscribers. But you would see the same kind of a thing, total subscribers, since the very day I started. So every once in a while, I'll upload a video or a couple of videos that'll, give me a little bit of a spike in subscribers. But pretty much my whole history of YouTube subscribers goes just like this. A very slight incline over the nearly 14 years. And that is, again, backed up by nearly 3,400 videos and live streams over all the years. So before you go out basically accusing me of purchasing subscribers or something lame like that, you don't see any kind of a spike, any kind of a huge spike in hundreds or thousands of subscribers at once. Again, this is a 14-year-old account with 3,400 videos. There are a lot of streamers and content creators right now. It is very hard to get views on little indie games like this, and it's harder to get views on big AAA titles where there's 1,000 or 10,000 bigger YouTube channels bigger than yourself putting out the same game's content. So if you were a YouTube creator yourself, you would know this. If you used 4 brain cells, you would know this. But let's go ahead and go back into the store page here for Warlike, and let's take a second look at this game and hopefully have a better audio now that I've turned the OBS audio way down, because a big problem with this game and a big reason that I gave this game such a low score is because it doesn't have any even of the most simple settings. You would expect that even in a 99-cent title, the ability to adjust your volume, or the ability to make the game, windowed mode or full screen. We have nothing like that here. Yes, the developer basically here gives credit to all the assets that he used, right? And the code that he probably took for his game. We have quit, we have load game, and we have a new game. This is it. So when we go to new game, let's go ahead and run this amazing tutorial. This developer accused me of not running and playing. I think I did hit it, but for some reason it just started me in the game when I played it yesterday. So let's go ahead and look at this amazing tutorial. It's good to have you with us, Commander. Sergeant Harker at your service. I must say it's brave of you to take up this role, especially after the unfortunate and timely disposition of your predecessor. Still, the man and I have every confidence in you. Oh yes, we're behind you all the way, sir. Nonetheless, I thought it might be prudent for me to show you the ropes. Here is a world map. This tab of imagine that. This tab shows the indicator of resources. This is really hard to figure out. We have stores of both gold and manpower. Gold is used to buy and upgrade troops. Manpower is a measure of how many able-bodied men we have in our company. It can be used to replace troops. fallen in battle and is also needed for hiring new units. I figured all this out yesterday without a tutorial. This ship indicates where we're landed. Okay? Click on the tile to disembark our services. Click on the adjacent tiles to move them. I also figured this out without a tutorial. Now, as you're no doubt aware, our task is to secure the island. We will need to traverse a marked out path in order to reach the end. We want to reach that city on the far side of the island. I also figured this out, preferably before the forces of evil run rampant through the streets. Let me go ahead and turn the fucking music down because it's getting really fucking loud, and I noticed that the music was way louder than I thought it was when I made the video yesterday. These guys will kill, burn, and pillage, and generally make a nuisance of themselves. You get the idea. We're by no means restricted to staying on the path in order to get there. Be warned, straying from the path will only invite our foes to ambush us. Speaking of our foes, here comes a horde of orcs now. They've attacked at the right of the moment, and let's explain how combat works. How thoughtful of them. Alright, Commander, let's send these orcs back to the mud. Select a unit from the roster. This isn't very hard, guys. I don't know why this developer is really blasting me for not running this tutorial. There's nothing here really that I missed except for one thing, and I'll show you that. Then place them in the space of the field. Continue placing units until you're happy with your setup, which I did yesterday, my playthrough yesterday. You can start a battle after you place at least one unit. It would be wise. Yes, obviously we want to place all the units. Once the battle is finished, you will not be able to control your troops directly. However, you can influence the battle by using your command power. It will be located in the top right of the screen. This is the one thing that I missed. It can only be activated once, so use it wisely. And that's all the advice I can give you now. You have to pick up the rest for yourself. It's not that hard. So we go ahead and place these troops, as I did yesterday here, right? And then we just watch the battle play out. We begin the battle. Now, this is what he's talking about here. But when we do this, guys, there's nothing here we can do. We can click. Once we click this, it doesn't really do anything. It says you can control the troops. But it doesn't explain how that works. So, yesterday we played the warrior. Let's go ahead and play the elder here. So, we start here. We place our troops here. It loads. We already have a battle coming in. And here's our enemies. So let's go ahead and place these guys. In fact, I think the placement of these guys in this game really doesn't even matter. So let's go ahead. They just go towards each other and fight. Unless they're like an archer or something. And then they shoot the ranged attack. Begin battle. Right? So here's what we're talking about. We can click this, but then it doesn't say how we control our troops. We can't do anything. I can't click anywhere. It doesn't give any indicator of how we would control our troops. We barely won. And then we can reinforce. I figured this out yesterday. This is just a very simplistic game, guys. Very, very simplistic. I also figured out that you probably want to go along the path to get where you're going. And going off the path would probably increase your chances of battle. That's kind of common sense that would tell you such. This game, as I said yesterday, is way too simplistic. Has no control. You have no control of your troops besides placing these and then watching a mindless battle play out where the troops simply go towards each other and attack each other. There's nothing here to control. I know it's only a $3 or $4 game. It's a $4 game. I get that. But we can't armor the troops. We can't, you know, buy new armor. All we do is get gold and click on these buttons. There's no health. There's no strength for our characters. There's no inventory. There's no crafting. There's no trading. There's nothing here. This is just mindless clicking and watching RNG play out. In fact, the placement of your troops, it doesn't even really seem to matter all that much. The only thing is when I play the warriors, if you have archers or whatever, you do definitely want to place those in the back so they're not getting directly attacked. Pretty common sense stuff here. But as far as if I place this guy up here or here, really isn't going to matter. Just look at these guys, you know, attacking each other. And again, we click this, and I'm clicking here, but it doesn't have any impact on the game itself. There's nothing that says, hey, you know, take a different route or none of that. This doesn't seem to do anything. So this is the only thing that I missed. The control, the one-time ability to control your troops doesn't even work. It doesn't even seem to work. It has no explanation of how it works in the tutorial, which he said I didn't play. You go into the main menu here. Again, my biggest gripe against the game is for a $4 game, yes, I would expect at least simplistic settings on volume and stuff like that. So I don't have to lower my volume and manually control the game volume through OBS if I'm making a video. Of course, it's pretty obvious this developer doesn't like the fact that videos can be made about this game and expose how obviously simplistic and basic this game is, and it makes it look, play, and feel like an asset flip. So he made it with assets. Big deal. And it's not a direct asset flip. Big deal. Doesn't really matter when it both feels, plays, and seems like 100 other asset flips that I've played over the years. I base my review and my opinion of Warlike on exactly my experience. My experience over all the years that I've been doing this. All the basically hundreds of asset flips that I've reviewed over the years. I have almost 850 reviews on Steam. I'm not brand new to asset flips, and Warlike, despite how much effort this developer might plead that he's been, you know, put into this game, despite the fact that he'll probably tell you he's been working on this game for years, if he says something like that, it's complete bullshit. This game is a very, very low-effort game produced to try to make a quick dollar. I doubt this developer is going to make any kind of profit on this game. He might break even if he starts selling keys on key-selling websites. So this game, like I said yesterday, really doesn't even deserve the 2 out of 10 that I gave it. And I'm going to go ahead and stick with my initial review, a 2 out of 10. I would also highly recommend to the developer, I would go ahead and highly recommend something. You need to learn how to take criticism well and actually improve your game, rather than doing things like you've done here. And I also have a lot of experience in this. If we click on my original review of Warlike here, we'll see that it has 5 likes and 22 dislikes. Shame on you, Mr. Developer, right? Shame on you for attacking my game and paying for dislikes, or having your friends and family dislike, or making alternate accounts to dislike a video you don't like because it doesn't, you know, put your game in the best of lights, or it reveals the low effort that you've put into this asset trash game. The game is not worth even 99 cents, much less $4. You didn't even care enough to put Steam achievements in the game. You didn't care enough to put even the most simplistic sound controls or video controls. You can't even make the game windowed mode should you want to. This game is extremely low effort, and I'm really surprised that you have so much pride in a game that you quickly developed with a bunch of assets that you bought on the Unity Asset Store. You know full well that you put very little effort into your game. You know full well everything that I'm attacking your game for is warranted. It is not a fun game to play, and I also go back and say, make a game that you yourself enjoy playing. You yourself, Peter Knack, don't enjoy playing Warlike. I doubt very seriously that you sit and play your own game for hours and hours and hours and hours, because you know damn well there are much better games, even for free, than your own game. So before you defend your game so proudly, maybe look at the fact, ask yourself the question, do you enjoy playing your own game? Have you played your own game for hundreds of hours? If you won't even play it yourself, if you don't even want to play your own game, why the fuck do you expect others to pay money for your game and want to play your game? I go with that, and I will firmly stand on my hunch that you don't even enjoy playing your own game. Why would you? It's boring, it's bland, and it's just simple RNG that you have little to no control over. It's a snooze fest, and you damn well know it. So there is my re-evaluation of your game Warlike, and Were you saying that I missed something great and grand about your game? No, I didn't. I missed nothing about your game. It's exactly what I said it was. It looks, feels, and plays like a lazy, low-effort asset flip, whether it is or not. Thanks so much for watching my re-review. This has been Zaxtor99. Have a good day, everybody, and you continue to have fun with all your alternate accounts, Mr. Peter Knack. Continue mass disliking my videos. See how far that gets you. Why don't you try making a game fun to play instead of using all your effort to attack me for not liking your lazy, low-effort piece of trash game. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxtorian 9.